you. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You hear drink? Yeah, that's water. No purple Kool-Aid today. That's water. Starting off with water, and I drunk it all before we even got started. That's crazy. But if you so you hear drink, so I know my sounds good. If you hear drink, I know my sounds good. What about my voice? Give me a thumbs up before we get started. Before we get into the rundown, get a thumbs up on the vocals. Let me move this little box too. Move this box. Yeah, get that out the way. I want to sit behind the subscribe sign the whole time. I may have to change that. But since I think we good on the vocals, this is what we're gonna do. So good. Appreciate it. This is the rundown. So the number to call in is there. It's 605 472 5400, and the access code is 918914. That's how you get in on the show. But what we'll do until we get a caller is we'll go through Jameson Hensley's tweets talking about the press conference that Harbaugh had today. Well, obviously starting off with Ronnie Stanley, but we'll go from the Ronnie Stanley's tweets, which is only like 2 or 3 of them. Then we'll go into the Harbaugh stuff, and then if we have callers, we'll stop and take questions. If not, once we get to the end of those tweets and my thoughts about those tweets, we're gonna be up out of here. All right, so that's what it says. So tonight, basically, is my chance to interact with you guys, because sometimes there's questions in the chat box that I don't get to. So tonight is your chance to call in, ask those questions live, and then we go from there. All right. Again, let me put the call info in the chat box. I guess that dark on dark is kind of playing a little tricks on us. So that's 605 472 5400. Code is 918914. Alright. That's what it is. So, first thing up, appreciate you guys coming through. We hit 4K early in the week. Thank all you guys for subscribing and passing it along and recommending and word of mouth and saying, I'm good at this, or Coach do this. All you guys that's been here from January back, you did a great job of helping me get to this point. So now we're gonna push the 4,500 and 5K. So that's what we're gonna try to do for the rest of 2020. If we can get the 5K by December, I'd be great with it. We're gonna push the 5K, so we get 1,000 guys in here by December. And if we get football on time, I think I'm gonna get to it, because I'm gonna put out a lot of good content. Again, if you weren't here in the past, what's gonna be different this fall is the Thursday night game. They're gonna get film breakdown on Saturday mornings, or sometime Saturday, whenever I get the film. Whatever the Thursday night game is, whether it be the Broncos and the Niners, the Cowboys and the Redskins, whatever the Thursday night game is, I'm gonna pick something out of that game and give it a film breakdown Saturday morning, and then we'll get our Ravens stuff depending on when we play that week and whatnot. And when we have a bye week, whatever our bye week is, I'm going to do the Thursday night game. Then I'm probably going to pick the primetime game, or whatever the best game I think is that week, and then do a breakdown of that. So we're going to still have our Ravens content, but we might sprinkle some stuff in for some other folks to push us to 5K, to expand a little bit. But we definitely Ravens, and I ain't going to sell out my soul for subscribers. We're going to be Ravens first, then everybody else second. All right. Next thing I got something here that I pulled out of storage. I don't know if I can pass this off. Can I pass this off for J.K. Dobbins? Yeah or nay? That's my J.K. Dobbins. Can I pass that off? Thumbs up if I can. Thumbs down if I can't. Exclusive, authentic J.K. Dobbins early. early. So if I can pass that off, hey. If I can't, go back to storage. But I might have to do some alterations in the back, if you get what I'm saying. I might have to do some alterations in the back. All right, so let's get with these tweets. Look like the stream is good. Let me check it on my phone, make sure we're good before we get started, because I don't want nobody to miss out. YouTube, my page, my channel. And we live, baby. Okay. All right, watch. I ain't gonna sell my soul. Not at all. I'm gonna stay true to what got me here. Hey, I appreciate you coming through too. So we're gonna start off with this first text from Jameson. On a video conference call, Ravens left tackle Ronnie Stanley said he's been in talks with a contract extension for the last few years. I'm comfortable where we are in that regard, Stanley said. That don't really give us much, but just saying that they've been talking about extension. We know that the extension that the contract that Tunsil got gonna play a huge role in Stanley's talks. It's appreciated for the four bands. Bands will make them dance. I remember you saying that on your channel one time. Bands will make them dance. But he also said this right here. Ravens offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley said he was happy for Laremy Tunsil when he got this record deal. Stanley said Tunsil deserved it and believes he gives respect to one of the hardest positions to play in the NFL. With that being said, let's talk about Tunsil for a second. Tunsil negotiated his contract by himself, no agent. So that 10 or 15, whatever percent agents get, Tunsil he basically jumped the curve from 16 mil a year to like the best tackles to 22, which means Baltimore is going to come out at least 20 to keep Stanley. At minimum 20 to keep Stanley. Now, it's a lot of money gonna be shelled out soon from the Ravens. And you know we don't like to pay people. But you got three cornerstones that's due money soon. You got Stanley right now. I think maybe Marlon next year. And then you got that big check that's gonna come from Lamar. And the thing is with Lamar, when Lamar gets paid, same things get back to normal. Lamar's check is going to be huge because the salary cap will probably be jumped up once, if not twice, by then. So Lamar's payday is going to be huge. Yeah, CJ, I see that 22. I didn't want to say 22, but we probably gonna have to come out 20. Like if Tunsil got 22.4, we probably gonna have like 22.6, maybe, or 22.5, or 22.4. We might have to just match it. At the lowest, he may let us just match it. But then you got Marlon you got to pay. And, again, Lamar. Let's move on to the next tweet. And if you see that up under there, somebody said, translation, I'm about to get paid. Translation, I'm about to get paid. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's going to happen. Probably going to take 25 mil to keep Stanley if Tunsil. No, I don't think it's going to take 25. I wouldn't give him 25. Personally. I wouldn't give him 25. No, indeed. You can't keep resetting the market like that. For that would mean in 1 year's time the left tackle position has jumped up $9 million. If you do that, the fact that it jumped 6 is crazy. Ron Stanley also said there have to be tweaks to the Ravens offense this season, but added, we're not deviating from the plan. So you know what that means to me? Run game going to be real strong. Again. The run game is going to be real strong again. Don't deviate from the plan. Just hit it outside. Hit it outside. Hit your throws outside. Once you can get to your intermediate to deep balls with your receivers and not just, your tight ends and your backs. Just think about this. The middle of the field between the hashes is probably going to be filled with R5 linemen, at least one tight, let's say 2 tight ends, that's 7. A running back and Lamar, that's 9. So they probably going to have 8 to 9 people in that same spot. So imagine the Hollywood start blowing the top off. So now that safety got to bag up. So that's one guy out. So imagine if, say, somebody on the other side start catching, balls on the outside, maybe be outs, curls, occasional go route. So now you got to bag that other safety out of there. So now you got numbers in the box. So, and then you can't really take the middle because, Andrews and Snead and probably Prochet and Duvernay going to work the middle. So if everything clicks like it is on paper, the running game probably won't run for as many yards, but they're going to be a lot more explosive runs because it's going to be people out the box. It won't be hitting your head into a wall, hitting your head into a wall, hitting your head into a wall until it crack. Then go, you're gonna run 1 or 2 times. You're gonna maybe you hit your head up against the wall. But then you're gonna get a deep shot from time to time. You're gonna get an RPO from time to time. Then even if you don't complete the deep shot, if Hollywood is behind the safeties, they got to bring their butt out the box. That's most people think you got to complete. You don't have to complete on deep passes all the time. If we throw one and Lamar throw it too far, but Hollywood's behind the cornerback or behind the safety, they're gonna get their butt out that box Because they know the potential is there to get beat deep. Then you got running lanes. But let's go to the next tweet. Where we at? All right, I think this is the last one I'm going to show for Stanley. Ronnie, on if he wants a contract to reflect status as the game's best left tackle. I definitely want to get paid my value, and what I feel I'm worth. Stanley said, "At the end of the day, money is not the most important thing to me." He wanted to be paid as left tackle. Ego and value and worth, those are words to say, give me my money. If I'm statistically one of the top tackles in the league, that contract needs to reflect that. What up, Ing Raven? What up, Ing Raven? Shout out to Ing Raven for coming through. If I'm statistically one of the best tackles in the league, I need to be paid accordingly to. So I think low end, we're gonna pay him $20 million, $20 million. High end, 22.8, 22.9, 23. At minimum, he getting 20 though. Minimum he getting 20. And the way these guys are set up these days mentally, nobody's getting a hometown discount. So I'm looking for somewhere between 22.4 and $23 million. That's a year. So we're gonna have to figure out some way. The bottom of the lineup gonna have to come through in the next couple of years, boy. Gonna have to come through. All right. Let's move on to the next. And obviously, he had a little article here with Ryan Stanley hoping to get paid like the top LT left tackle. Let's talk about this for a second. Ravens GM DeCosta was named Sporting News NFL Executive of the Year. DeCosta wins this honor after finishing with his first season as a GM. The award was voted on by the NFL executives in December. And I saw Ian Raven put out a video with this earlier in his little suit jacket. That kind of went with the Ravens shirt too. He was pretty fly in that with the little suit jacket and the Ravens polo. That I saw what you're doing. I peeped you out. But that's amazing for a guy to do it in his first year. What that tells me is, not only was he Ozzy's understudy, he did what coaches do. He took all the things that he thought was good from Ozzy, and maybe things that he thought were not as good, and brought in his own talents with it. So he meshed he meshed what Ozzy did good, or what he thought Ozzy did good, with what he may have picked up, from having conversations with other people, and merged that and given his own identity. Because, and I think what won him this award, the trade for Peters, and bringing in those three guys mid-season. He didn't just rest on his laurels and let us, okay, they're going to figure it out. No. We weren't hitting the broadside of a barn with what we were shooting with, especially after week 3 and week 4. We thought we was good. We blew the Dolphins out, barely beat the Cardinals, lost to Mahomes, and then got embarrassed against the Browns. And he didn't just say they'll figure it out, they'll get better. No, he didn't rest. He went and found 3 guys that were not on active rosters, but were quality players, put them in, traded, I want to say a 5th maybe for Peters, maybe a 5th. Don't quote me on that. And correct me in the chat box. What did we trade for Peters? I think a 5th. So you bring in 4 guys on the defensive side of the ball that they don't make the defense lock down, but they plug a lot of holes. Now, I don't know if he had any input on Chuck Clark going to the green dot. I think that's coaching. But if he did, may have mentioned that or dropped that dime, that should be factored in that too. But this, congrats to DeCosta. I think he deserved it. With the moves he made, they produced a 14-2 team. Best team in the league. All right. As Mo just came through with a question, he asking, "What up, Coach? Do we sign Jamal Adams? So first of all, if you've been here the last week or so, when somebody come through, we gotta hit them with the dollar sign. Gotta hit them with the dollar sign. Appreciate the ad motives for dropping 2 in the super chat. So, do we sign Jamal Adams? I really don't know how we can sign Jamal Adams, especially since Judon has signed that tender. And if I don't know where they, because I don't want to get rid of Judon. I don't. I think he's going to be vital. Because if we bring Jamal Adams in, I think there might be a trade. We would have to trade Judon. I think that's honestly what I think. And you're bringing in a safety at a position you're pretty good at, and taking out a defensive end, outside linebacker, which is a position you're limited at. So that's why I don't know. I would like for it to happen, and I'm would you trade Earl for Jamal? Would the Jets even do that? I don't think the Jets would do that. But the only way I see it happening is if it's like Earl and a pick or something like that. But I don't think the Jets want Earl or would trade for him. I just don't. Because I don't want to lose Judon. Because we're thin that we have bodies at outside linebacker / defensive end, but we need quality bodies. And you pull Judon out of that, and you're looking at McPhee, Ferguson, Bowser, maybe Wolf, maybe. I'd rather Judon be in that mix. I really would rather Judon be in that mix. All right? A fifth to Kenny Young. So we basically just traded a fifth. Because I don't think Kenny Young did anything over there. But break up the argument between Marcus Peters and Jalen Ramsey. I think that's all Kenny Young did when he went to L.A. All right? Unless Lamar marries Rihanna, he's not taking a discount. Ha! True that. I wouldn't either. Is Stanley really worth it? If we could go into the 2020 draft with 3 first-round picks and a salary cap flexibility. Ooh, CJ, that's a good question. I think Stanley's worth it because having a quality left tackle is they don't grow on trees. They don't grow on trees. Having a quality left tackle, having a franchise quarterback, things that you got to keep when you got. And the person that's probably going to lose out in all this is Zeus. I think the person that's going to lose out in all this money situation, because you can't pay everybody, is going to be Zeus. I think we're going to end up losing Zeus. I hate to say that so early, but when it's all said and done, like on down the road, maybe 2 years from now, I think Zeus will be the odd man out because you're going to have a lot of money tied up in Stanley. You're going to have a lot of money tied up in Lamar. You're going to have a lot of money tied up into your defensive side of the ball. I think Stanley is the guy not Stanley. I think Zeus is the guy, Orlando Brown Jr. is the guy that's going to be the short man on the totem pole. I hate to say that because I like what we got at tackle right now. I really do. All right, now let's get into this Q&A. Lamar ain't going to marry a supermodel. I don't see him doing it. Lamar not going to marry a supermodel. Lamar, what's the best word for Lamar? I'm not going to use a Kodak term right now. I almost inserted a Kodak Black term for Lamar right now, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to even go there. All right, so to the good stuff. Harbaugh said Miles Boykin personally brought a judge machine to help improve him catching the ball. He's a big, fast, and talented guy, Harbaugh said. So, and Raven put out a video talking about Miles Boykin going to South Florida to play with, to practice with, our guys. And he talked about some people, discounted Miles Boykin and didn't, I don't know who I know I was one of them. So I went out immediately. Like early and I'm like, well, he should be in South Florida working out with Lamar. I said that somewhere. I said that, I don't know if it was on a stream with all the Ravens YouTubers or a solo or with Vox. I said it somewhere that he should be his butt in South Florida working out with Lamar trying to build chemistry. And, lo and behold, 2-3 months later, it's coming true. But, and I'm rooting for him. Because if Miles Boykin makes the jump, Miles Boykin make the jump, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Now, don't forget, just a reminder, don't forget the phone line open. So if you want to call in and ask your question, feel free to do so. And the number for the phone line is in the chat box. It's, let me give it to you again. It's 605-472-5400, and the access code is 918-914. It's also on the screen. Also on the screen. Next tweet. All right. Harbaugh said first round pick Patrick Queen will primarily play middle linebacker, and third rounder Malik Harrison will line up at weak side linebacker. But Harbaugh added that the team will flip them at times, and noted the Ravens will ask defenders to play multiple roles. Now, with that being said, this is my take on that. Queen probably gonna play Mike because they probably want him to start. But once Malik gets up to the point where he can start, or they're comfortable with him starting, Malik gonna go to Mike. Queen will probably play like all the downs, and Malik will probably come out on like third down or something like that when they do their sub packaging or whatever, and then you'll have Chuck Clark and Queen at linebacker, which is a lot of speed. But when Malik Harrison when they're comfortable with him and want to get him snaps, and that's why I think he put that in there about they'll flip at times. Malik is your thumper guy. When you put him at Mike, that allows Queen to do those other things: cover linebackers, chase plays down, beat the stretch, beat a C gap defender and turn the stretch back in to Queen or the D lineman or whatever. So that's why I think that's why he put that in there, because in order for Queen to start, he probably had to play Mike. But then once when they're comfortable with Malik playing a lot, or if Malik even takes the position, Malik will be the Mike. You can almost write that down. Almost. I ain't in the meetings, but you can almost write that down based off what I see from the outside. Jonathan Carrington says, I really think Judon is getting traded. Ironic that the same week they're in talks for Jamal Adams, they get Judon's signature on the contract. Yeah. And he ain't crazy now. He know sugar from salt. Judon do. He knows sugar from salt. At 230 doesn't need. Yeah. I think he needs a little bit more mass. I do. I really think he needs a little bit more mass. What up, DT? I see my guy done fell through. What up, coach? Appreciate you coming through. KE in tonight. Let me know. Thumbs up, KE in tonight. But next week, let's go back. Ooh, stomach growling. Hope y'all hear that. John Harbaugh having 4 quality running backs: Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. Is that really a problem? Having 4 guys who can break long runs and make guys miss. That is not a problem. That's a good problem to have. So with that being said, I think it's almost definite we're going to keep all 4 of these guys. I really think we're going to keep all 4 of these guys. All 4 of them. J.K. is a home run waiting to happen. And you're going to get the J.K. Dobbins live film session Tuesday. That's what's coming Tuesday. So I'll go ahead and let y'all know. The J.K. Dobbins live film session is coming Tuesday. Tomorrow's going to be Matabuke, and we're going to do Matabuke versus LSU. So you can see what I talked about with him being double teamed, and then when he was away from the double teams, he made stuff happen. So that's what we had. And yeah, like CJ said, it's a stable. There's some thoroughbreds, some Clydes there that's gonna be stepping out there. Might as well get a Budweiser sponsorship for them. The 4 Horsemen. I can see it being marketed now. The 4 Horsemen. Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. I can see the 4 Horsemen right now. All of them standing there with this pose on, but with their chest way up here, because mine ain't big like theirs. All right, that's what they're gonna be up there in this B-boy stands, as we used to call it. You youngsters don't know about the B-boy stands, but that's what they're gonna do and have the 4 Horsemen. Oh yeah, that plan is. Lamar even said it. Jay Will. Lamar said he's not running as much as he ran last year. I mean, he got the rushing record for QBs, unless it's there. Run. And see, I said this last year before the season started. I feel like a lot of his rushing yards should come on broken down pass plays. Shouldn't be a lot of design runs for him unless in special situations. Special situations. But a lot of his runs should come when he drop back and they cover our D line. I mean, they cover our receivers. That's what a lot of his runs should come from. That's just my 2 cents. We don't want him to break. At no point do we want him to break at all. Don't even really want to speak that up. I even take that back. I even said that word. Man, I'm tripping. Let's go on to the next tweet. So that's the 4 horsemen. At some time, they're going to be called that watch by somebody. All right, John Harbaugh mentioned that cornerback Jimmy Smith could play some safety this season. He also mentioned how Marlon Humphreys did well at nickel, and that could allow Smith to play on the outside corner as well. So now I'm going to throw some. I think could be. I don't know why this got blocked, but could be. I don't know why this comment got blocked. I think Lamar was secretly banged up at the end of the season. That I don't disagree. I don't disagree. He had a lot of wear and tear on him. A lot of wear and tear on him. But back to the tweet. Jimmy is old enough, is savvy enough to make that transition, I think. Just, he's not Rod Woodson, but I think he's smart enough and savvy enough to go and do what Rod Woodson did. And maybe not on the level that Rod did, because you can say Rod had an all-pro career at cornerback, then turn around and had an all-pro career at safety. And I'm not saying Jimmy could do that. But nobody cares what you think. Okay. I don't know if that's at me or at Deuce, but okay. Jimmy, like I said, he's savvy enough to do that. And you just think about this. They come out of some kind of 4 wide receiver, 3 wide receiver set. And you're looking at Marlon in the game. You're looking at Peters in the game. You're looking at Humphreys in the game. Then your 2 safeties you drop back there is Earl and Jimmy Smith. Bring Chuck down and play your dime linebacker. That's a lot of speed on the field and a lot of coverage. You can blitz off that. You can play coverage off of that. You can cheat one of them down and rush Chuck or get Tavon off the edge. It's a lot of. Trust me. DC Wink has a ton of toys to play with right now, especially if Tavon's healthy. He got chess pieces he can put in a bunch of different spots. To attack. A bunch of different spots. And I ain't even mentioned the backups. Our backups are pretty darn good. I think we got some backups that could probably get some PT, on other teams, like serious PT. Serious. So when guys come in, I don't expect that level of play to drop but a notch, if it drop at all. Because let me tell you my little theory on this. So say Earl plays at a high level. Say Earl comes out for maybe the Joker. I expect the play from the Joker to be right here. Reason being, he's younger. He's probably going to be faster. Probably have a little bit more range than Earl. What's going to give Earl the advantage is his instincts. Earl can see stuff and get to places like while they're happening, and it's not necessarily reactionary. He's going to react before it happens. The Joker will be reactionary, but maybe can move a little bit better than Earl. So that's what I think. Like when them subs come in, I don't expect the level of play to go down too far. All right. I think Jimmy did man up Kittle. Yep. I think Jimmy did man up Kittle, and that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare matchup too, because Kittle is a dog. No disrespect to our tight end Andrews, but Kittle is a dog, and I'm always gonna give respect where respect's due. But Kittle, Kelsey, Mandrews, what's the tight end for the Eagles? I forget his name. Zach Ertz, whatever. Married to a soccer player. Bro, them 4, and I'm sure it's somebody I'm forgetting. Certified dogs in the tight end position. Okay, we got another deuce in the super chat. 86 Ghosty came through. So you know what that means. You gotta fire it up. Fire up the donation bar. Fire up the donation bar. Appreciate it. 86 Ghost for it's a pimping coach. Got the vision. Might be the game. Yep. It's chess, not checkers, homie. It's chess, not checkers in the NFL. In high school, might be checkers because it's more Jimmys and Joes. But when you get to the pro level and the difference in ability ain't a whole lot, or it's not a whole lot, I do that double negative in there. It's chess. It's chess. You got to be 2, 3, 4, 5 plays ahead of guys, and it's different. It's just different. But that's what how I feel about Jimmy Smith. So let's move on to the next tweet. Ravens have had success in moving cornerbacks to safety in their career. Rod Woodson went from safety to corner. We just spoke about it. The Darius Webb, I forgot about Webb. I think Webb's last 2 years he was at safety, and then Brandon Carr the latest. Carr was the guy that kind of did both. Carr played a lot of safety and a lot of corner for us, especially once Tavon got hurt. And even if you play Madden and you play with the Ravens when they like the default sub, Jimmy will probably be a safety, and Carr will probably be a safety when they like do the dime package and bring Earl down, and you still got to have two safeties. Like if you play your 2-man out of dime, I think a quarter, whichever one it is. Jimmy is a safety, and somebody else is Jimmy and Tony's the safeties in there, unless you change it. Jimmy and Tony Jefferson, or Carr and Tony Jefferson is safety. But basically, when you do that, just think about these names from last year that are all on. We're talking about Madden now. Jimmy's in, Tavon's in, Earl's in, Carr's in, Peter's in, and Clark is playing the middle linebacker. That's talking about Madden, not in real life. That's Madden. So a lot of speed out there. Let's go on and see what else Harbaugh talked about. It says in a 45-minute Q&A with John Harbaugh, he hasn't received one question about Lamar Jackson. He's been asked about the number 4 running back, reserve wide receiver, and undrafted tight ends, but not the reigning NFL MVP. Because we know we got Lamar. We know we got. I ain't going to go out there and say GOAT, but we got a top 5 QB. We got a top 5 QB. And if you think I'm crazy about saying that, if he's not a top 5 QB, how did he win the MVP? And no people gonna say because his stats and because of top. If you a top, say you're 12th ranked QB and you win the MVP, how does that not elevate you to top 5? How? Because we talking about in this last season, he has to be one of the top 5 QBs. Name me 5 other guys that had a better season than Lamar, even though Lamar won MVP. Nobody. I ain't even get a chance to answer. Nobody. And the only reason, just off this season, the only reason I put Mahomes over him just off this season is because Mahomes beat us and he went on to win the Super Bowl. Is Mahomes a better thrower? By far. Mahomes is a better thrower. Mahomes can do some of Lamar things outside the pocket, but on a way lower scale. But Lamar can't do what Mahomes does with his arm yet. Lamar can't do what he does with his arms yet. So if you think about them five quarterbacks, you're looking at Mahomes, Lamar, Drew Brees. Dare I say Tom Brady, because Brady didn't have a great year. Brady, Russell. Yeah, somebody Greg said it, Russell. So let me start over. Russell, Mahomes, Brees, Lamar. I need a 5th. Is Tom the 5th? Is Tom Brady the 5th QB? I'm trying to think about the QBs in the league. I really am. Tom might still be in that top 5. Let's see what Brandon says. You have to think Lamar has done with yes. And my cousin called me yesterday, and we have this little group about our hometown, and they trying to get the high school football team back to just to be good and positive, because there's a lot of stuff going on as So they got this Facebook group, and they, you know, talk about different things in there. But my cousin called me yesterday, kind of mad about the group because saying people don't understand football. So yeah, I forgot about Deshaun. I did forget about Deshaun. Appreciate it. I forgot about Deshaun Watson. He's doing a lot with less too. He's doing a lot with less too. A-Rod kind of fell off this year. But those two guys, they have an argument. So even if I left them out, they have an argument. Watson and Rodgers could probably be in the top 5. And you probably could take Brady out, add one of them guys. You probably could take Brady out and add one of them guys. But back to my story. He called saying people don't understand football. And so, and I know I'm going off tangent right here. He's a Steeler fan. But he said what he loved about what the Ravens do, or what the Ravens did, was we always keep good defensive tackles to keep our linebackers free. And as I'm letting him talk because I don't want to cut him off, he said even in the early 2000s when we had Saragusa, he said that's why Ray Lewis was so good. He said, yeah, Ray a good player, but Goose elevated his game. And I interrupted and I said, yeah, you're right. Then he said, bump up, yeah, y'all got Nada. But he didn't say Nada right. He mispronounced it. But he said, y'all got Nada. And then he basically said the same thing. He said he kind of when y'all got Nada, Ray Lewis picked his game back up. I said, you're right. You're exactly right. But, the casual person don't really understand what's going on with these parts. And look at Mahomes. Mahomes had, and this is where it come from. This is what I was going to say. I remember my point now. Mahomes has a track team for receivers. Sammy Watson's the slowest. Watson's the slowest guy on the Chiefs. That's play. You got Tyreek. And when I talked about Tyreek to him, I said Tyreek is one of 2 dudes in the NFL that is fast and quick. And so, he was trying to think of the second dude in the NFL that's fast and quick. I said, you ain't seen his combination of fast and quick together yet because he was hurt last year. That second dude is Hollywood. You about to have 2 dudes in the NFL that are fast and quick. And just the prelude to something coming down the line, I'm going to try to do a comparison of what Tyreek does for Kansas City to what Hollywood can do for the Ravens. That's coming on down the line. I'm in the works. That takes a minute to find stuff for Tyreek, to find stuff for Hollywood. That takes a minute, but that's on down the line. All right. What else? Oh, he got a track team. He got Tyreek. He got Mecole Hardman. He got Sammy Watkins, and I think the Williams kid. All those dudes fast. Not to mention, you got Kelsey. Not to mention, you have a decent running game because you got to play out the box. Because if you play in the box, they'll go max protect and just throw something flukish, just far as he can to Tyreek, and you can't stay with it. It's just not possible. So, yes, Lamar has done more with less and won an MVP with it. So, back. Let's get back to where we at. Back to this next tweet. I went all off the bat with that one. John Harbaugh said what the Ravens did in free agency, Calais Campbell, and in the draft was intended to stop the stretch run plays that hurt them last season. I wish Madden would do that. Put something in to stop out during stretch. But anyway, Campbell, yes. What blows up run plays is penetration. Campbell can get penetration. I think Wolf can help create penetration. You're going to see that if he gets solo blocks, he can get penetration. I'm talking about Matabuke. He can get penetration. If I get to it, and I'm sure I will with what's going on in the world, when you see Brandon Washington's film, he's versatile enough and explosive enough to get penetration. So penetration stops those stretch runs. What you have to collapse. You have to collapse the line at some point, make the running back stop his feet, and then your second level defenders better be there, better, or you better have a monster edge guy that can set the edge like no other. Because when they run those stretch plays, you got to make sure you keep outside contained and keep your outside arm free. Then you have to worry about them cracking with a tight end or some kind of receiver that's not attached to the line of scrimmage. So with that being said, if say they're in a weak side and they got one receiver over here, tight end, receivers off the ball, and receivers outside a little bit, maybe two or three of them tight end, and they run a stretch to the boundary. Well, that tight end, whoever the edge guy is, got to make sure the tight end doesn't hook him first. Then he got to worry about that guy coming, and if the receiver comes down and cracks, whoever the cornerback is has to feel right now, because if he waits, ain't no telling what can happen. One of those linemen could come that had a double team and get to the corner. When the cornerback guy cracks down, he has to feel right then. Right then. So first he got to yell crack, 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 crack to whoever's being cracked. Then he has to feel it right then while he's yelling crack. Because if he don't, ain't no telling what can happen. And I guess when I go back and look at the playoff game, I'll see the stretch runs. And once Derrick Henry gets on the outside, gets to the second level, ask Earl what happened. And no shade to you, Earl. I appreciate what you did last year, but that stiff one was, that was, I don't want to think about that. Jeez. All right, next tweet. So we had 9:18. We got 12 minutes left. All right, I want to hear y'all say y'all get the chance to talk to me now. The phone line been open. It's open for another 5 minutes. Ain't nobody call in, so we just run through these tweets. John Harbaugh was asked whether Lamar Jackson was going to be a more conventional. John Harbaugh was asked whether Lamar Jackson would throw the ball more this season. I would say we're going to be a more conventional offense. We just want to get better and take advantage of what the defense's weaknesses. So with that being said, freaking right, he's gonna have to throw the ball to some receivers. He got to. He got to throw the ball to some receivers to get them out of the box, which I went on that tangent earlier. Get guys out of the box. Get guys out of the box. What up, Iron Addict? I'm glad you back. You back home? Let me know if you back home. Give me a thumbs up if you back home and out of that place we talked about the other day. Let me know. I appreciate you. I'm glad you back. Hey, that's God is good. Oh yeah, but you got to throw the ball to the receivers. Got to, and not just Hollywood. Somebody else has to step up and get. I need Prochet. I need Duvernay, and a combination of these guys. Prochet, Duvernay, Boykin, Sneed. I need them to have 75 to 100 catches. Like, all of them together need to have 75 to 100 catches. 75 to 100 catches. Boykin, Prochet, Duvernay, Sneed need to have 75 to 100 catches. If they can all be around the 40 catch mark, great. Well, I don't care if it's screens, whip routes, drags, slants. That's going to get the ball. That's going to basically open stuff up in the middle. We need to get as many people out of the box. Because you always going to have a defensive end that got to watch Lamar. You always got to have a defensive end that's going to watch Lamar. And then the way we use our tight ends in the blocking schemes, the different stuff they do, you're probably going to have two person advantage at the line of scrimmage a lot of times. Because Lamar's going to hold a guy. Then when the tight end comes across, you don't know if he's kicking out. You don't know if he's going to the flats. You don't know if he's wrapping the blocked arc or alley player. Numbers. It's a numbers game. Running the football is a numbers game. And if you got old linemen that can win individually without having a double team, if you get a hat on the hat and know how to play with leverage, And again, I don't know if y'all can see this. Got this cup on my trip to Baltimore. This restaurant on the, I think it's called the Inner Harbor. Had a great time. And no, they ain't paying me to do this. But they had a great time at this place on the Inner Harbor. Great people. Met one of the bartenders, or one of the guys that worked on his bartender, that was a Cowboy fan. But he liked the Ravens. He said like the Ravens was his second team. He moved to Baltimore from somewhere else. The lady that behind the bar was great to us. So me and my wife, we had a great time there. Next tweet. Scroll through. Here we go. Might be getting a little dirt right. Harbaugh on the offensive line. We're going to find out in the first 2 weeks of training camp what looks the best and then we have to fight it out, and they're gonna have to fight it out, and then have them fight it out. So my initial evaluation for O-line is going to be left tackle is going to be Stanley. This is my crooked finger. I'll tell y'all a story about how I got that one day. Left tackle will be Stanley. Left guard, Bozeman. Center, McCarry or I can't think. I'm going blank. McCarry or who got hurt? Whoever got hurt. I can't think of the name right now. I'm going blank. But right guard, I'm thinking Fluker. Right tackle, I'm thinking Zeus to start with. So with that being said, these are what I think the battles are going to be. The tackles, no battles. We got a left tackle, we got a right tackle. Is wrap, put a bow on it. Whew. So if they move Bozeman to center, now you got a fight for left guard and right guard. Because initially I thought DJ Fluke would just win that job, but I don't, iron sharp as iron. And them young bucks may get in there. Because, Fluker has faults. He has faults. But I know Ben don't want to ride the bench again a whole nother year. You drafted two other guys that's going to probably try to get on the field. Who else is there? Whoever we signed last year at the end, Andrew, whatever, I don't think he's in the game. But you got Bozeman, McCarry, Skura, that's who it was. Bozeman, McCarry, Skura, Powers, Fluker, Bredesen, and the kid from Mississippi State. That's a lot of O-linemen to fight for three positions. But, again, I'm a big component of iron sharpens iron. So, hey, whoever, like he said, let them fight it out. Whoever wins it, we should be good. Whoever wins it should be good. Like, whoever actually wins the battle, we should be good. And then if something happens, we should be good with depth. Because now we're going to have quality depth. Quality depth. And I wouldn't be surprised if whoever don't win it, might get traded for and go start for somebody else. So, and it says Roman should study Andy Reid's screen game over the years. Iron Addict says Roman is just fine. Remember, he got 14-2. But, and I think Roman should do what he do, but I think we didn't use our screen game as much as we could have. I don't know if it fits based off how we play action so much or RPO so much. So on the outside looking in, we probably should have threw a few more screens. But basically, with the addition of Dobbins, hopefully we'll have more trust in Justice Hill. Justice Hill and Dobbins will be like screen people. Mark Ingram probably do it from time to time, but Gus downhill. Let Gus run the dive when we do like the dive option downhill. Don't have Gus out there dancing. Let Gus get downhill, give him a little crease, maybe run up, boom a linebacker, then get on down the field for his 13, 14, 15 yards a pop. All right. Maui says, I got Stanley, Powers, Bozeman, Fluker, Zeus. I mess with that too. Kurt Caldwell says, who would be the backup left tackle? I think the backup left tackle would be the young guy. I don't see Zeus going over there, but that may have to be. Put Zeus over there. Zeus would be the backup left tackle, then your young guy would play right tackle. It would have to be. And, right now. Move Zeus, he would play left tackle, even though I don't like that. I really don't like that. And then put Tyree over there at right tackle. So I think that's what it is. I think even though Tyree may be listed as both backups, I think if something happened to Stanley, I think Zeus will go over there, and then Tyree would have to play the right tackle. Right now. All right, let's see where we at. Team is on the strongest. Yeah, the bench is where you win it. You have stars, and stars win games for you. But to win championships, you got to have a great bench. And just look at those second-tier players for Kansas City, what they did. The guys I mentioned earlier, Hartman and Williams and not the Kelsey. Just you know what you're gonna get from Kelsey. You know what you're gonna get from Tyreek. You know what you're gonna get from Mahomes. But look at the contribution those other guys did to help them win games. Those other guys that look at the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger ain't a superstar no more. He's a great player, but he ain't a superstar no more. And look at his role. His chemistry addition to Kansas City. That you can't underrate or count out chemistry or what a guy does to a locker room. Like what Ingram did for us this year. What Ingram did on the sideline and in the press conferences and just hyping Lamar up. And everybody don't do that stuff, man. He basically put another dude above him. He put the team above him. Everybody ain't ready for that. Screens aren't that impressive, but they keep people honest. Best you get a team that like to blitz. Like screens hurt us because we blitz so much. But I ain't saying run them a lot. But sprinkle them like past situations when they want to get after the QB. Sprinkle them in there. And my thinking is the reason he didn't do it because you always got a runner on a pass play at the quarterback position. They drop back. We run 4 verts or some kind of deep concept, and they drop back and don't spy. Then you got a runner out there, and that's probably just as good as the screen. So that's maybe why we didn't run them as much. But again, not being in the locker room, not being in the meeting room, not knowing the game plan, that's just a dart in the dark right now. Yeah, trying to say that. A dart in the dark. But again, one last tweet, then we're going to roll up out of here. Harbaugh said it is known that the offensive line is both tackles by Russ Stanley and Bradley Bozeman will start somewhere. He believes a lot of competition at Garden Center. Yes, a lot of competition at Garden Center. All right, last one. Ravens coach John Harbaugh on the playoff loss to the Titans. The players are pissed about it. Fans too. They're not happy about it. Fans too. They're disappointed about it. Fans too. They came up short and they will learn from it. Sometimes the only way to really, really learn something is to experience it. Man, that last statement, that last sentence, don't even really apply to football. I mean, it ain't just about football. The best way to learn something is by doing it. Whether you mess it up or succeed. The best way to learn something is by doing it. The playoff loss to San Diego 2 years ago, they learned from it. It fueled them for that 14-2 season. And they didn't make some of those same mistakes they made. Like the mistakes that was made against San Diego 2 years ago were not made against the Titans. So they learned from it. But now is the time to put it all together. We didn't have reliable players help to run screens, so why run them? You can say that. And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. And, you know, in what I think supports your statement is the fact that when Mark went out, we basically decided to just throw the ball. That in alone supports your statement right there. That they didn't trust the other guys. And so and not just in the screen game, just they didn't trust them, period. So that I can see where you're going with that. But yeah, just the best way to learn from something is by experiencing. And that don't happen to be just football. That could be in life. Period. The best way to learn a task or learn how to do something is hands on. It's hands on. So, we got a little subtweet to it. I'm sorry. Then we'll run up out here. I expect our guys to understand what it takes to beat an opponent that is bound and determined to beat you and make a statement. That's why we respect teams that are champions and are repeat champions. I fully expect our guys to answer the bell. Yeah, that's just coach speak right there. That's coach speak right there. That's something the coach he got to say. But they addressed what hurt them in off season. They addressed it. Now it's time to, put paper on the field. On paper, we addressed the needs of the team. Now it's time for guys to get out there and do it. When I don't want to be a paper champion. Don't. No more victories this year. I don't care if we're 12-4 and we get to the Super Bowl, fine. We don't have to be 14-2. And I know we favored in all the games, and we got 4 or 5 primetime games, but I mean, other people get paid to play football too, so we can't just think they all gonna lay down. And because we had so much success, so much coverage last year, we're gonna be a lot of teams Super Bowl. We're gonna be a lot of teams Super Bowl. Like when teams play the Dallas Cowboys, they get up for it because it's the Cowboys. When teams play Kansas City, now they gonna get up for it because it's Kansas City. When teams played the Brady's Patriots, they got up for it because they play their best game against those teams. So we ain't gonna have a team that's just gonna be like, that's the Ravens, had this victory. It's not gonna happen. We have to bring it every week. I got 2 more comments I'm gonna address, then I'm gonna roll up out of here. Didn't expect Baltimore to beat the Chargers, but lose to the Titans was unexpected. True. And the Chargers beat us up front. I think the Titans beat us. We beat ourselves against the Titans. Then the Titans just took advantage of it. Kenyard says, I hate when they ask, is Lamar an elite quarterback? Then they change the subject and say he will have injury issues. Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson have injuries, and hey, they do. Mahomes missed 3 or 4 games this year, and Watson missed some. And Brandon, your statement right there, I'm gonna end it on that right there. We got to get used to being 100. That is so true. We got to this a little funny statement like that. It ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. You think about that, all you the guys that hunt or whatever. If you hunt rabbits, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. So now they're gonna be hunting us. They're the rabbits. They gonna have the guns trying to knock us off our pedestal. And we got to, hold the fort down. Hold the fort down. Secure the bag. We keep the high ground and all that good stuff. We got to handle all that. All right. So with that being said, let me close this phone line. No last minute call, since we ain't get no calls in. But I know during the season that's when y'all call. That's when you call in. So, but we good though. We had a good talk in the chat box and with these tweets. Cleveland is loaded. Cleveland's scary. Now again, tomorrow is Friday night 5, and we're gonna do Matabuke's live game tape versus LSU. You still can send questions to siptotally at gmail.com. I'll answer them before I start with the live film session. So tomorrow we'll be through at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share. I appreciate you guys for getting me to 4K. Let's shout out the super chats again before we get up out of here. We got dudes from 86 Ghosts. We got a dudes from Asmodeus. So with them doing that, they get the Tory Lanez inspired. Where my mouse at? They get the Tory Lanez inspired. But with that being said, it's Coach Evans with Sip the Tally Films. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And we got the 4K. So let me go celebrate a little bit. I appreciate you guys coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. See you when I see you. Peace. With